In the world of aviation, thousands of flights take off every single day, and almost all of them land safely. But on one quiet Sunday in 1977, an unexpected chain of events led to the deadliest aviation disaster the world had ever seen, a tragedy that changed flying forever. The story begins not in the air, but on the ground, on a small island in the Atlantic Ocean. Tenerife was a peaceful tourist destination with one airport, narrow taxiways, and limited technology. On March 27th, KLM Flight 4805 and Pan Am Flight 1736, two massive Boeing 747s, were suddenly diverted there because of a bomb threat at a nearby airport. What should have been a simple delay slowly turned into a dangerous situation. Dozens of aircraft were squeezed into the tiny airport. Traffic jammed the taxiways. Communication became tense, and just when things were already difficult, a thick wall of fog rolled across the runway, so dense that pilots inside their cockpits could barely see a few feet ahead. Inside the KLM plane, the captain, one of the most experienced pilots at the airline, was growing impatient. The crew had been on duty for too long. Passengers had been waiting for hours. Every minute that passed pushed them closer to violating strict time limits. Meanwhile, the Pan Am jet was still taxiing slowly down the main runway, trying to find the correct exit in the blinding fog. Air traffic control issued instructions, but radio static and overlapping voices created confusion. Some words were heard, some were lost, and some were misunderstood. KLM's crew believed they had been cleared for takeoff. Pan Am believed they were still safely moving along the runway, and the tower believed both planes understood exactly where the other was. They didn't. As the KLM jumbo jet accelerated into the fog, gaining speed for takeoff, the Pan Am pilots suddenly saw a massive shadow forming in the white haze ahead. In a moment of disbelief, they realized another plane was rushing straight toward them. The first officer shouted, and the captain pushed the throttles forward, trying desperately to turn off the runway. At the same time, the KLM captain pulled back on his controls, trying to lift the aircraft into the air before impact. For a brief moment, the huge jet lifted off the runway, but not high enough. Its underside struck the Pan Am plane with catastrophic force. Within seconds, flames swept across the fog-covered runway. The impact, confusion, and explosion claimed 583 lives, still the deadliest accident in aviation history. But from this tragedy came permanent change. Investigators learned that unclear communication between pilots and air traffic control was one of the major causes. Because of Tenerife, the entire aviation world rewrote the rules. Standardized phraseology, clear, direct language became mandatory. Cockpit training evolved, giving co-pilots more authority to question decisions. Technology improved, and safety culture in aviation transformed forever. Today, flying is safer than it has ever been, partly because the lessons of that one tragic day forced the world to rethink how pilots and controllers communicate. The story of the deadliest plane crash is a reminder of how quickly small misunderstandings can escalate, and how even the darkest moments can lead to lasting improvements that protect millions of lives in the skies above us.